So good evening and welcome to the Museum of Jewish Heritage, a living memorial to the Holocaust. So I often think what an honor it is to be the chairman, but as I listen today, I'm actually humbled. I'm humbled to be the chairman of an institution like this with all the people around that I love so much and that I have such respect for. And I think often about the good fortune I have of being here, and I think about the fact that it's been 20 years, and this is a very special occasion to be here. It's a very special occasion because we opened the doors in 1997, and since then, over 2 million visitors have been here. And over the last 2 years, or 4 years rather, there have been over 200,000 school children who have seen our exhibits. They've seen and learned about life before the Holocaust. They've seen that horrible period during the Holocaust. And they've seen us as a people and how we revived and what we've done for this world, and we're proud of that. And what we always do is we stress the importance of hearing from survivors and from their descendants, and their testimony is critical to who we are and what we are. And we have learned a lot from the past, but as a living memorial, it is always about looking to the future to make an impact and to remind us never again. We are here to make sure that whether you're a refugee or an immigrant or the subject of persecution, we will stand with you, and together we will be with you. This museum did not happen easily, and it did not open for over a half a century until after the Holocaust. It took decades of debating, planning, and fundraising to open this museum. It started in July 1981 when former Mayor Ed Koch formed a task force on the Holocaust. George Klein was our chairman at the time, and George, thank you. You're over here for all you've done. We applaud all your help. And it was 4 years later, in 1985, that Governor Cuomo and Ed Koch got together and they formed a New York State Holocaust Commission. And we had Bob Morgenthau was the chairman, along with George Klein, Fred Orenstein, who was then state senator, and Howard Rubenstein. So thank you all. What a job you've done over the years. So special applause for them. But that was 1985, and it took until 1997 to actually raise the money, find the site, and build the first part of the museum. 6 years later, after completing the six-sided building, we completed this building that houses our collection, our temporary exhibits, our event space, this auditorium, and classrooms. The space was designed by Kevin Roche, and I often come here and I describe it as a sacred space. It overlooks the Statue of Liberty and, of course, Ellis Island, the place that my father came when he came from Eastern Europe. And I sometimes say to myself, I imagine, how is it that I stand here in the shadow of those monuments in a museum dedicated to those values that my parents instilled in my brother, my sister, and me? It is a remarkable country. So thank you, country, and thank you, museum. This institution may have changed over the years, but never has there been a time when the importance of fighting anti-Semitism, the importance of fighting genocide, the support for refugees, and immigration has been greater. Here we stand 72 years after the Holocaust, reliving some of the memories that those who lived through that period can recall. And so it is our responsibility to mark these 20 years with special exhibits this year, installations, public programs, community events, publications, and coming together. And so I want to thank Michelle Tachi and the David Berg Foundation, and Elliot Spitzer and the Bernard and Ann Spitzer Charitable Foundation for all you've done to make these exhibits possible. We have had a tremendous increase in attendance since we've had these exhibits, particularly the Eichmann exhibit, and we're very proud of the work, and we have much work going forward. But let us make this only the beginning. Let's stay active, and let us remember, and let us always use the example from the past to make sure that we have a better future. So thank you for being part of our museum family as we honor the memory of those who we've lost, and we cherish those survivors who are still with us. And we invite people from all over the world to learn from our history.